What's going on, guys? My name is TeftyTeft, and welcome to another PlanetDestiny weapon review. Today I'll be breaking down the pros and cons of the Jewel of Osiris, in particular the Adept versions. First off, where can you obtain the Jewel? This hand cannon is a drop from the gold tier package from Brother Vance, and can also drop from the Lighthouse chest as an Adept version. Some weeks Brother Vance might also sell the Jewel as well. The Adept versions randomly roll Arc, Void, or Solar damage. That's the only difference between the two versions. Cosmetically, it falls in line with the Trials of Osiris weapon's golden-yellow rugged motifs. The Adept versions come with a brown strap around the muzzle, but this is not seen when utilizing the weapon in first-person combat. The description reads, an elite trophy earned only by Trials of Osiris champions. First off, let's talk perks before I get into the pros and cons. The sights offer Steady Hand IS, stable recoil control, best stability, Quick Draw IS, less stability, faster reload speed, and Sure Shot IS, increased reload speed, less stability, increased aim assist. Out of the three, I prefer Steady Hand IS. The recoil seems to be the most controllable overall. The Jewel has a relatively strong pull to the right when rapid firing shots. In terms of aim assist, the Jewel is pretty high at 75 points. To put this in perspective, the Fatebringer is 61, Thorn 60, the Last Word and Hawkmoon are 50 points of aim assist. When first using the Jewel, it'll most likely feel a bit more stickier than other popular hand cannons due to this above average aim assist stat. The first main perk on the Jewel is Icarus, improved accuracy while airborne. At first, this might seem incredible, and personally I wish it was. Unfortunately, it's barely noticeable on a hand cannon. Yes, you will be able to land a bit more criticals from airborne ADS shots, but it's not a drastic improvement over what the hand cannon archetypes can already produce. The middle tier perks offer Snapshot. Aiming this weapon is incredibly fast. Nice addition to have, even though the ADS in the Jewel is already decent. Flared Magwell. Reload this weapon even faster. The Jewel has an average reload speed, not too fast, not too slow, so this perk will be personal preference. I could see a lot of people opting for this in PvE encounters. Perfect Balance. This weapon has extremely low recoil. This will greatly reduce the recoil kick and help increase your critical shots. I'd recommend this for PvP. And finally, we have the last perk, Third Eye. Radar stays active while aiming down this weapon's sights. Useful in both PvP and PvE, depending on how much you rely on the radar. This perk alone could sell you on the Jewel. Lastly, I'd like to point out the base stats are extremely close to the Fatebringer. Rate of fire, impact, range, and base stability are all identical. The reload speed is slightly faster, and the magazine size is down from 12 to 9, but overall, it's a very close relative to the Fatebringer. Alright, let's talk about the pros. The Jewel is an extremely balanced hand cannon. It handles exceptionally well for any seasoned hand cannon user. The base stats coupled with a higher than average aim assist will feel very familiar. Adept versions allow you to get different flavors. Of the three flavors, Arcburn will no doubt be the least desirable. The Fatebringer is still a better choice because of the ultra desirable Outlaw and Firefly combo. If you get a Voidburn version, then you'll have a nice alternative to the Word of Crota. Vex Minotaur's shields will melt. Prisma Elders arenas with Voidburn will be a lot of fun with a Void Jewel. And finally, Solar Burn Jewel. This is arguably the most desirable because of the lack of Solar Burn hand cannons in the currently available raids. The only other option is a Solar 6 Drag Pride, which has a chance of rolling with Shank Burn. And on top of that, you have to kill Skullus to get that baby to drop. The Solar version of the Jewel absolutely melts wizards, which is so nice. Because of the high damage output from hand cannon archetypes, any enemy with a Solar Shield will get melted fast. The middle tier perks are all decent and have something to offer for most players. Snapshot will appeal to fast Twitch-like players, Flared Magwell supports PvE heavy content, and Perfect Balance offers the absolute best stability and recoil control for PvP critical situations. Icarus, while very situational, might come in useful for extremely airborne players. If your playstyle involves constantly jumping for vantage points, then this might be the perfect perk for you. And Third Eye is a fantastic perk to have on a hand cannon and will no doubt be desirable for a lot of players. Comes in very handy for raids, Prison Elders, and Crucible. And now the cons. Icarus, in reality for most players, is a complete waste of a perk. Hand cannons already have an aerial accuracy boost compared to other weapon archetypes. The actual effect of Icarus on hand cannons is very minimal. Yes, you will land more shots compared to other hand cannons, but it's so situational that I honestly feel it's a wasted perk slot. Outlaw, Crowd Control, Luck in the Chamber, any of these would have been more desirable than Icarus. As a PvP reward, this hand cannon is a bit lacking in the range department. It will not outsnipe Thorn in any way because it lacks a Senate perk. This is a big deal. It's a big reason why Fatebringer gets relegated mostly to PvE duties. And by no means am I saying the Jewel is bad at PvP, because it's great. It's just not going to outshine Thorn or Hawkmoon anytime soon, or a perfectly rolled red hand for that matter. Undoubtedly, the coolest perk of the Jewel is the Adept versions. The only problem is for most Guardians, the Adept versions will be locked out of reach due to the high PvP skill cap required to reach the Lighthouse. If you're not sure what the Lighthouse is from Trials of Osiris, I'll leave a link in the description for you to check out. For PvE, the Jewel handles really well. It doesn't overly excel in any particular area, it just gets the job done reliably. If you're used to the Fatebringer, then you might miss the 12 to 13 shot magazine size and the instant reload speeds from Outlaw. Flared Magwell will help alleviate that need for quicker reloads, but it's not going to fix it. If you're lucky enough to have all three flavors, then it's nice to be able to match up the damage types to the encounters you're jumping into, especially for Nightfalls. Damage-wise, level 30 Tier 1 red health enemies, body shots dealt 658 and criticals 1973. Level 30 Tier 2 yellow bar enemies, body shots dealt 548 and criticals 822. For PvP, body shots dealt 57 damage and criticals 86. Guardians can be dropped with 3 shots if one is a critical, otherwise you're looking at 4 body shots. However, a high armor warlock with the ram will require 2 criticals to kill in 3 shots. I personally recommend Perfect Balance for the Crucible. The Jewel's strong pull to the right can be a little cumbersome for lining up consecutive headshots. Perfect Balance will help pull those shots together. And you'll want to choose your encounters wisely. The range is not going to reliably crit Guardians across the map. Medium distance encounters will be the best for the Jewel. For casual gameplay, the Jewel is a lot of fun in the Crucible. I don't think it's the end-all be-all for legendary hand cannons by any means though. With the current reforging system, New Monarchy's red hand can be rolled for perks that fit your playstyle perfectly. On top of this, if you've gone to the Lighthouse multiple times, then you're most likely already using Thorn, Hawkmoon, or the Last Word. In conclusion, the Jewel of Osiris is a really balanced, familiar hand cannon. The standout perks is Adept version's burn flavors. Unfortunately, those drops are locked behind a PvP wall that most Guardians just won't clear. But for those players that strictly focus on the Crucible, they now have avenues for getting weapons that can be used more effectively in PvE encounters, which I think was the original intent from Bungie. And that's it for this review, guys. Once again, my name is TeftyTeft with PlanetDestiny. Slap that like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to PlanetDestiny if you haven't already, and check out my personal channel as well, TeftyTeft Games. I really appreciate the support, you guys are amazing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.